Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. Ropaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News. As we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches, the BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out lithiafordboise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Well, greetings, Boise State fans. Welcome courtside ExtraMile Arena. Our special guest going to join us off on tonight's show, Dan Dickow. You can hear him on the call with Rich Waltz coming out and about the top of the hour. We're excited. Hope you can hear us okay. Dan, appreciate you for coming on. We'll fix the camera here, but big one tonight. Boise State fans a little disappointed that, first place isn't on the line tonight, but sold-out crowd. What's your take on the matchup tonight?
I think this is going to be a great game. Last year, if you think back to what this game was, it was for the league championship. If you're a Boise State fan, obviously it fell in your direction. But it looks like, from everything I've heard, it's a sellout. I think you may have just mentioned that. It should be a tremendous atmosphere. To me, Boise State is an NCAA tournament team, but you got to get this win tonight. This one is enormous because if you lose, then you go on the road and you're at Utah State, who desperately is searching for a quad one win. And so you don't want to be able to kind of put yourself in that bad position where, in this league, unfortunately, sometimes the selection committee forgets about the Mountain West, just like they've forgotten about the WCC at times. They don't forget about the Big Ten. They don't forget about some of those other leagues where you could be 500 in league and not make it in. So, I was at shoot-around today. Boise State, they look ready. They look good to go. I think this is a really good basketball team.
Yeah, Wisconsin's like number 72 in the net, and I saw they're in the Final Four with Boise State right now, according to Joe Lenardi. It's crazy the benefits the Power 5 teams get when it comes to the bubble.
Well, I don't agree with it. I came from a smaller conference, Gonzaga, playing in the WCC. I think there's a ton of value in playing in a league like that where every game is important. When you're in those power conferences, many times you're like, I don't want to say you don't care that you lose a game, but you know that, hey, we let that one slide. It's not that big a deal. We got another chance at a quad one, quad two coming up. And there's a reason those conference commissioners, the ADs, they were smart. They added more conference games and took chances away from playing teams like a Boise State or a really good WCC team like Santa Clara, who I believe you guys played earlier this year. Yeah. To not allow those teams to get opportunities, quad one, quad twos, and keep them to themselves.
But you feel like Boise State right now is a tournament team, but again, you got the two quad one games, and then you go into the Mountain West tournament. I mean, I still think they need one more win.
I don't disagree, right? I mean, I do say they're an NCAA tournament team based on how I've seen them play
to this
person this year, as well as on film, and to this point. Now, if they were to somehow drop tonight, drop at Utah State, and not have a good showing in the Mountain West, well, then you're putting yourself in a position at the mercy of the selection committee, and unfortunately, they're human. They make mistakes.
What do you make about Boise State losing to San Jose, getting out-rebounded by 21 offensive rebounds? And I know by the metrics and stuff that wasn't necessarily a horrible loss, but, Boise State could have been playing for first place tonight. And, anytime you lose to San Jose State, it sounds like a bad loss, even though this year they're much improved. But Boise State coming off the tough loss, San Diego State coming off the celebration of clinching, first place. The two teams coming in, obviously, with different momentum.
Yeah, I think when you look at San Jose State, they might be the most improved team in the entire country, not just the WCC. Tim Miles is doing a tremendous job down there. He's got those parts working well together. They shoot a crazy amount of threes, and when you do that, there are going to be long rebounds. So there were long rebounds, I'm sure, to be had in that game that Boise State just couldn't corral. They did get beat pretty badly on the glass, so they've got to find ways to scratch and claw and limit those extra possessions. You can't, and I've said, and I'm not just talking about Boise State with Tyson and Najee on the interior, now Milner will probably start tonight, being senior night. You can't just allow on your bigs to be the guys that rebound. Guards have to help out. Shaver's a pretty darn good rebounder for a guard, but when you're going against a good rebounding team like that was, everybody's got to pitch in.
Dan Dickow, Rich Walt's going to be on the call coming up, CBS Sports Network. I saw Ken Palm ranked it the top game of the night in college basketball tonight. And you got some ranked matchups going on, but you mentioned Marcus Shaver Jr. Didn't play the last 2 times these teams played. A freshman point guard was kind of thrown to the wolves for Boise State with that crowd. It didn't go well, obviously, and Boise State got down 20 in the first half. Actually outscored them in the second half, but it was all kind of window dressing, I guess. But in general, this Boise State team tonight with Marcus Shaver, with a healthy Najee Smith, with Tyson Degenhart not in foul trouble, how different is this Boise State team and this atmosphere and just this game going to be than what San Diego State saw down there in San Diego?
It should be much different. I mean, Marcus Shaver is a calming influence on the floor. He makes things easier for Tyson. He makes things easier for Max Rice. And, with those guys having the game kind of opened up with space because you got to focus on Shaver, that's a bonus. That's a benefit. You're taking a guy like Whiting, the freshman. I think he's had some really nice stretches this year, but you're right. You go into San Diego State, Viejas, that atmosphere, I don't care if you're a freshman or a senior, that's difficult to do. And he did struggle at times, but like I said, I do think he's put together a nice freshman year.
And you can see Marcus Shaver wearing some sort of rib brace on his in his stomach right there. He had a pretty hard fall. Told me he wasn't even sure he was going to be able to play in that San Jose State game. So he's playing less than 100% tonight. But I want to ask you about Tyson Degenhart real quick. Obviously, you know him very well from being up there in Spokane, doing some shooting things together and coaching him and some camps. We talked last year in the Wazoo game up there in Spokane when he was just 10 games in. Now to see what he's become here, potential Mountain West Player of the Year candidate as a sophomore. I know you're probably going to say you saw this coming, but what have you seen in 2 years here, the development of Tyson Degenhart?
Well, I think you're seeing a player that is bought into the player development and the kind of career path that was possible for him. Leon really liked him when he was recruiting him, thought he had a chance to be a really good player. I think, Tyson with his hard work last year sped the process up. He did it again in the offseason to have a good sophomore year. I still think there's growth in his game. When you look at his three-point percentage numbers, they're down from a season ago.
Yeah.
A lot of that is due to teams focusing in on him. A lot of that's probably due to Shaver being out at times. I think there are some things that he can definitely improve upon in the offseason to really kind of make that next jump and truly be a Player of the Year candidate next year. I think he's an all-league guy this year.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. To be a Player of the Year, I think he's got to be that guy where you just chalk up 18 and 9 every game. So I think in saying those numbers, how does he get those 18 and 9 when he's the focal point of the opponent's defensive scouting report? And how do you get those on the glass? Because I think he's got to get better on the glass. Defensively, he's got to get a little bit more physical. But that always comes in time. Those are some things that come in time. And I think he's willing to learn. I think he's willing to take coaching, and he's definitely willing to work. So I think he'll be at that level next year.
You followed Max Rice for a long time, too. To see the player he's become. When he got here, people thought he was just on the team because his dad was the coach. And now he's got all Mountain West potential this year. And what he's doing, scoring 30 points a couple games ago. What's it been like to see Max Rice turn into the player he has?
It's been fun because when I was at Gonzaga, Leon was an assistant, and Max Rice was 2-3 years old. I would go to Coach Rice's house as a player and go to dinner, and his boys would be in the basement wrestling for hours, throwing Nerf balls at those guys when they were little kids and throwing them alley-oop lob dunks, passes for lob dunks on their Nerf hoop. So it's been fun to watch him grow as a player. I mean, you're right. I don't think anybody expected out of him what he's doing now, but it's another testament to believing in yourself, a testament to hard work, and not listening to what outsiders' perceptions of what your game is at this time as well as in the future what it could be.
Well, we appreciate your time. We'll let you get ready for the broadcast with Rich Waltz, one of the best play-by-play guys in the business, friend of mine. So you guys are great on the call together, and have a good call tonight. Should be a fun, full atmosphere, and take off the headphones for a second or two. Enjoy the atmosphere tonight. It's going to be a good one. So
Absolutely.
we appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
There he is, Dan Dickow. Again, you can hear him with Rich Waltz on the call. Coming up top of the hour, we're 47 minutes from tip-off. Want to thank a couple of our sponsors as we get ready to bring on our friend Abe Jackson. Cutwater Spirits, more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Again, 2 for $7. And remember to drink responsibly. RoePaint.com, ROEPaint.com. They're offering 15% off the interior painting of your home. If you use that promo code BNN15. That's right, BNN15 is the promo code, and you get 15% off the interior painting of your home. And our friends at Lithia Ford of Boise, remember, even if you don't want to buy a vehicle from them, they will buy yours. So go on in, get a cash offer on the spot from the appraiser. LithiaFordBoise.com. You can view the full inventory of vehicles at Lithia Ford of Boise. Boise State on the court warming up. We're dealing with a little bit of technical difficulties on one of our cameras, so we are streaming this through the cell phone of Colin Mitchell over there. So we appreciate that and apologize if it's a little bit blurry, but we're not blurry here. We got Abe Jackson. They said that I made Dan Dickow look small, and now you're making me look small.
Well, let's just wait. Let's just wait till the comments come through. Maybe that's not the case.
That might be the record, though, from one, smallest to tallest, because I think Dan was about halfway up the screen, and you're barely fitting in there.
I think Johnny was after me one time.
Welcome, Abe.
Yeah.
Final home game of the year, and nice student set. Look at the student section already filing in here.
There's a bunch of people outside.
Technically a sellout crowd tonight. We'll see in terms of the lower level how many of those fans actually do show up tonight. But just your take on the atmosphere tonight, and a little disappointing that first place isn't on the line tonight. Boise State, hanging on to a sliver of hope to get a share of the title. But, in terms of needing this win for the tournament and a sellout crowd, this should be a special night tonight.
I think so. And senior night, and so you got some guys that have been in the program for quite a while, and Lucas Milner, Marcus Shaver, and Najee Smith, of course, are the main guys. And it's going to be a great atmosphere. We've seen good atmospheres already this year, so we kind of know what to expect. If it's a good game, the crowd will definitely be getting into it, and hopefully the Broncos don't get off to a start like they did at San Diego State, where the fans would just be sitting on their hands the whole time.
Well, you want to get on the reverse. Start where they
26-12 or something like that. That would be nice.
The crowd in the New Mexico game, I thought was one of the best crowds here in a long time, because they weren't just getting loud when there was a dunk or something. They were getting loud on every defensive possession. If you can get some sustained noise tonight, that would be big.
Well, they found a reason to make noise no matter what was happening.
That's true.
If someone else had the ball for New Mexico, they were boos raining down. Then the refs made some questionable calls, so then they got into it. Then, of course, Boise State starts doing things really well, so then they got to cheer that on too. So that'd be good to have a crowd like that, an energetic, engaged crowd. That'd be real nice.
I wanted to talk about the last San Diego State game, but let's start with the game on Saturday in San Jose. 21 offensive rebounds, out-rebounded by 21. And with all that said, if you just only give them 20 and you get that last one with 8 seconds left, you probably win the game. But, Boise State, when it's like a top 10 defensive rebounding team in the country coming in, they don't usually give up that, have that kind of time on the glass. What did you make of that game and just what went wrong, and how do they, in only 72 hours, get that fixed?
Well, in basketball, there's so many games that you can't hold on to a great game and you can't hold on to a bad game. You have to learn from it in film session the next day, and I can almost guarantee you that the coaches challenge these guys on their toughness. Sometimes you get challenged on your execution in games or in how you rotate on the defensive end, but I think they just challenge them in their toughness, because that's really all that it was. The two big guys for San Jose State dominated the glass. They both had double-digit rebounds. I think Diallo had 15 rebounds, and so it's just a physical game that they got dominated on, and that was the only thing. They held San Jose to 36% shooting and 26% shooting from three. You usually win those games, but when you give up 21 offensive rebounds and get out-rebounded totally by 19, it makes it tough.
I heard somebody say, they don't want to see them in the tournament. I think Boise State would actually love another shot at San Jose in the Mountain West tournament.
Who would you and I would take San Jose over New Mexico.
Any day of the week,
all
right?
Day. Yeah. I don't know who that was.
Yeah.
I don't know if they saw too many New Mexico games.
But on the flip side, you got Boise State coming off a really tough loss. They're at the airport watching as San Diego State hits that three-pointer at the buzzer to clinch the championship. They've already had the pictures with the trophy in their locker room. They're celebrating. They've already locked up the number 1 seed in the conference tournament. Two teams coming in with different kind of momentum, as I was talking to Dan Dickow about.
Yeah, there is. There is different momentum coming in for sure, but Boise State has so much to play for right now. You always talk about the NCAA bids that you're looking to get, and so far they're still in the field. Depending on who you look, they're one of the first 4 in. We're playing in Dayton, and then some other people have them as having a bye in that first round. But there's a ton to play for, and the last home game in senior night in San Diego State, who just put a whooping on you the last time you played them. There's a lot to play for. There'll be no doubt that both teams will be ready, and no lack for motivation.
That last game in San Diego, 4 weeks ago or whatever it was, no Marcus Shaver Jr., Tyson Degenhardt in foul trouble, pretty much a non-factor. I mean, it was a disaster all the way around in terms of a horrible scenario. Yeah. And then obviously you have Najee Smith at less than 100% as well. How different is this Boise State team tonight than what San Diego State saw a couple weeks ago?
Well, with Marcus Shaver out there, a completely different team. If you take a look at the teams who've either beat them or have almost beat them in Mountain West play, all of them have scoring guards. New Mexico, Colorado State lost to them in overtime. Fresno took them to the brink and only lost by 2. Nevada beat them, and they have Blackshear and Lucas, 2 really high school. Scoring guards are what gives San Diego State trouble in their close games and in their losses. And when you take out, at that point, the leading scorer for the Broncos team, the leading rebounder, assists, steals, and everything, you take that out, and that just makes it real tough.
You think is it going to be easy for Boise State to get up for this game tonight with the crowd and everything, and the fact that I mentioned, a really tough loss that puts you back kind of on the bubble, and you have a tough, sledding now to try to get the championship?
Is it hard to get up for this game?
Yeah,
why would it be hard to get up for this
I'm just saying,
we're going to have a sold-out building. The number 18 team in the country is here. You came off a poor performance, and anybody who has any competitive nature in them is going to want to get out here in less than 72 hours and prove that they're not that bad of a team.
Then you answered
no problem getting up for this game, man.
Then you answered my question then. What is it about this San Diego State team that makes them so tough?
They got guys who could score now. Their whole thing in the last few years is that they might hold you to 55, but they might only score 48. But this year, with the transfer from Seattle and Trammell, and then also the big guy in Lithia inside who can score a little bit, and then like what we're seeing from this Bronco team is everyone from last year getting better. And that's the story about this Bronco team. Everyone thought, who'd they lose? They lost this guy, and this guy, and I was in that same boat. But the guys who came back, got so much better than they were last year, and San Diego State's the same way. And what reminds me of the San Diego State team is our team last year. They might not get a single person on first team. They have Matt Bradley averaging double figures, and then hardly anyone else even close to double figures, but a bunch of dudes that are like 7 to 9 points. So in a bunch of seniors and juniors across the table. It's a tough team. They're a veteran team. They got a really, really deep bench. And I got maybe another back-to-back defensive player of the year in Nathan Mensah.
And final thing, quickly, you'll be on the air in about 10 minutes with Bob Bueller, 670 KBOI. Again, I told Dan Dickow folks need to listen to him, but now that he's gone, we can tell folks that they can watch them, but turn down the sound, listen to you guys, 670 KBOI. But Nathan Mensah had 17 points in that last game, was 9 of 12 from the foul line. What do you see as the keys for Boise State to try to win this tonight?
I think first you got to beat their pressure, because they're even with Marcus Shaver, I think they're going to come out and pressure you again like they did in that first game.
Why wouldn't you?
Create turnovers, exactly. And then also, even if it's not a turnover, the Broncos weren't even getting into their offense until about 15 seconds on the shot clock. So that's what a press can do as well. So handle their pressure, and then it is handle the big guys inside. Boise State's done a pretty good job against big guys throughout the season. Diallo from San Jose State gave them trouble for sure. Mensah's going to be tough inside. Veteran, lefty, defensive player of the year from last year, senior, he's tough.
Appreciate it. Good luck on the call. Hopefully a victorious chat going into Saturday's game against Utah State, man. Appreciate it. There he is, Abe Jackson. You can hear Abe coming up top of the hour, or actually here bottom of the hour with the pregame show in about 10 minutes. And then you can hear in coming up in about 30 minutes with the broadcast. John Mallory going to join us as well. You see San Diego State is down there warming up on the court. Hopefully you can hear us okay. Let us know if it's too loud or modulated or how the sound is. We got Colin Mitchell here helping out with the camera work. We had Dan Dickow to start the show. We had our friend Abe Jackson. We're going to have John Mallory shortly. Get those score predictions in. Get your score predictions in. Get your shout-outs. Where are you watching the game from? Who's your player to click tonight? Who's going to be the Matt Bauscher Real Estate Player of the Game? How are you feeling about tonight's game? Let us know in the ICCU YouTube chat, and we'll get to those momentarily here. Colin, if you can hear me, go find John Mallory. Colin, if you can hear me, go find Johnny. We'll get him on here shortly. Transportation Compliance Service, transcompservice.com. If you're looking for a new job, we can help you out, transcompservice.com. Every step of the way, we can help you out if you're looking for a new job at transcompservice.com. And the permits and things, all the things you might need to get out there towing that first load in no time. You can check them out again, transcompservice.com. Boise Dentistry Co., you looking for a dentist? I got the guy for you, Dr. Meinert. Chris Meinert and his staff do a tremendous job. Full family dentistry. They got locations across the Treasure Valley. Find a location near you, BoiseDentistryCo.com. You looking for business insurance? United Commercial Insurance can help you out. 229-8222. United Commercial Insurance. They make business insurance easy. I know Brandon Meinert told me he's going to be at the game tonight. If he stops by, we may even throw him on for a minute or two, but they do a tremendous job. United Commercial Insurance, check them out. Ridley's Family Markets is, again, John Mallory going to join us shortly. ShopRidleys.com. Download that Ridley's app. If you're looking for an app and a location in a grocery store that can give you great savings, I got the answer for you. Ridley's Family Markets. ShopRidleys.com. 13 Idaho locations. Download the app, get exclusive savings. Find the one near you at ShopRidleys.com. Again, you see San Diego State breaking the huddle. The crowd filing in, a sellout crowd here at ExtraMile Arena, potentially a record crowd on hand. This game has been sold out since last night. The lower level of the student section is already full, and we're still 36 minutes from tip-off. The second level of the student section starting to fill up. It is going to be one of those special, memorable nights at ExtraMile Arena, and if Boise State can play well and find a way to get the win, it certainly would make it more special because in my mind, I believe a win tonight locks up a bid to the NCAA tournament for Boise State. You win tonight, you get a quad one win. You get this on your resume tonight. You end what could potentially be a 3-game losing streak. I think that Boise State is in the NCAA tournament with a win tonight. John Mallory is going to join us in just a minute. Do want to get a couple more shout-outs in. If you're going to Circa for the mountain or for the conference tournament, join us at Circa for the conference tournament Wednesday, March 8th, 7 to 9. We would love to have you. We'll be there giving some free swag away, hanging out with the Blue Collar Club, just having a good time. So come meet some other fans. Have a good time. We'd love to have you. And speaking of meeting fans, come hang out June 2nd for the Bronco Nation News Golf Tournament. You can see John Mallory out there winning the closest to the pin competition. Maybe the long drive this year if he gets a hold of one. But looking forward to it. We're already like 60% sold out. So if you're thinking about it, don't wait. Get more information online, BroncoNationNews.com, and click on the Golf Tournament tab. The golf tournament tab at BroncoNationNews.com. And we bring you back courtside. We got our man, John Mallory. Johnny, fresh off an airplane from spring training. Changed your flight so you could be here for this game, man. We talk about special nights at ExtraMile Arena, man. Sellout crowd, senior night, potentially a record crowd. An NCAA tournament berth, in my opinion, on the line tonight for Boise State if they win. As you would say, this has all the food groups of being a big-time game tonight.
All the food groups are well represented tonight, no doubt about it, BJ. Holy shnikes. Look at the student section, and we are 35 minutes until tip-off. That student section hasn't been that big in a game I've seen this season, and we haven't even tipped off yet. You can just see the commotion, the emotion in this arena. It's going to be tip-top tonight. And I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this who can say they've been to a million games here. I'm one of them. I think tonight, whether they win or lose, the first 7-8 minutes is just going to be historic in terms of atmosphere here. I really do believe that. And the old school guys, hey, they ripped this thing up when they were in the Big Sky, and we hear those stories, those Bobby Dye years. I think tonight, for a second, those old guys are going to look around and they're going to say, yeah, okay, this is kind of what it was like back then. That's how packed I expect this game to be tonight, my friend.
The New Mexico game I thought was pretty special. It wasn't full, but they were booing house. They were making noise every time New Mexico brought the ball up the court. It's one thing to get loud when there's a dunk or a big play, but I thought they were loud on defense. I thought they kept it going the whole game. You add 3,000 or 4,000 people and you bring that kind of intensity. I mean, this could be an all-timer tonight, Johnny.
I'm with you. And all the opportunities. Somebody can become a legend tonight in BSU basketball. You know, if Max drops, there we go.
There we go.
BJ's family.
There we go. They don't have they're sitting in section 12 tonight. They're going to be holding the fat heads, Johnny.
Nice.
What's up, guys? Now, Nate Smith has predicted a 1-point win still. Are you sticking with that?
Nelly, who's going to win?
And you said they're going to win by 5, right? He's got the 5-point Boise State win. So they'll be in Section 12 tonight, guys. Thanks for coming by. I love you. They were just partying at Chick-fil-A before the game, hanging out.
You went to Chick-fil-A?
Didn't bring us a shake or anything, but
well done, guys.
Guys, good to see you. Sorry, the kids cut you off there. You were talking about the crowd and New Mexico game and just tonight, and you mentioned somebody could put their name in the record books tonight with a game winner or a big game. I mean, Marcus Shaver Jr. senior night, what if he goes for 25-30 tonight? Hits the game winner.
Has Tyson Degenhart had the quintessential moment yet? No, he hasn't. He's done everything, and I'm not saying he has to have the quintessential moment. I'm not saying his resume is missing because he doesn't have it. But if there were to be like something where Tyson goes for 40 and 15 tonight, BJ, or hits a shot at the end at the buzzer to win this game or send it into an overtime, which they end up winning. I mean, there could be that one Tyson Degenhart moment that we all talk about. That could happen tonight. But I think the biggest thing about this game, you said it earlier when you brought me on, an NCAA tournament berth is on the line tonight. If you win this game, Bronco Nation, sleep happy tonight. You are going dancing. If you lose this game, I'd say you're lucky at this point to be in Dayton at that time. If you lose this game, I think it makes Logan damn near a must-win. Unless you can recover and say get to the Mountain West Championship game, I think you can get in that path too. I think there's several paths for the Broncos, PJ. I think the easiest one, like your son Nelson's doing right now, just win tonight.
I don't think tonight hurts them.
Hey, Nelson, you want some candy?
Tonight puts them in the tournament. I don't know if a loss necessarily knocks them out. No, he doesn't need a Coke. No, he's got they snuck in some snacks. They're good tonight. What did you make? I know you were on vacation this weekend, but losing at San Jose State.
Yeah, watch that game. Tough one, right? Holy smokes, dude. That was the stinker that every team, it feels like, has in league. And Boise was the only team in this conference not to have a stinker yet. And that was their stinker. They forgot how to rebound. They forgot how to box out. Max Rice, if he was a wrestler, would have been stone cold Steve Austin, 4 for 18, worst shooting game he's had. So it wasn't their night. And it's crazy, but San Jose is at the point where, BJ, if you don't dot your I's and you don't cross your T's, they can beat you now. It didn't used to matter. But San Jose, Tim Miles, I mean, I could use my coach of the year vote on Tim Miles, and I don't think I'd get made fun of.
You don't have a coach of the year vote.
Damn it, BJ. Do you?
They were giving some crap to you with I know you left the next day, but they were giving some crap about the Max Rice saying you should be first team all media, man.
Yeah, I know they didn't like that, did they? They thought Max was just playing favorites, huh? Yeah. Max needs to have a good game tonight.
What about this? It's a sold-out crowd. It's senior night. It's a ranked game. Any chance the students storm the court if they win? Walking up the NCAA tournament bid?
100%.
And they should.
This court is stormed with the win tonight.
You think so?
You should put that question on Twitter as a poll.
Cody and those guys would not like that. They don't like me. They don't like me stirring that up like last time. But
really?
I truly believe. I mean, you look at the second level of the student section. There's already students coming into the third level. I think that senior night, a top 20 win, and more importantly, a win that, in my opinion, puts you in the big dance. Get on out here and celebrate, in my opinion.
Yep, I think you storm it. And you just, it's such a big deal right now, this atmosphere. I forgot that it was even senior night for a second, BJ. I mean, this fan base is going to see Marcus Shaver Jr., Najee Smith, and Lucas Milner walk down here for the final time. No more eligibility. And I know eligibility is so crazy now. No one really knows who has what years. But holy smokes, man. It's going to get emotional there. And Marcus Shaver Jr. has had some pretty big moments in this arena. And senior night always kind of gets me, man. I love it.
You think all three seniors start tonight? Lucas Milner has not normally been a starter lately. I wonder if they switch things up for him. That's not typically something Leon does.
I wouldn't do it.
Stick with what you've had.
I don't want to mess up my rotation.
And get down early in the game. Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, probably not.
Dean Smith used to do it.
He did. Bill Self tonight will start the senior walk-ons.
Okay. See, yeah.
It doesn't matter if, Sam Winter. If Sam Winter was a senior tonight, Bill Self would say you get till the first media.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Do whatever you can.
You've been here for 4 or 5 years. You deserve it. Now, also, he expects that they can still win by 30, even if they get a couple minutes out of those. It's a much different situation.
And they know their tickets punched.
Yep.
This is.
Well, Kansas isn't losing a home game in the first 3 minutes if you let some senior walk-on play for a couple minutes. I don't think you would, have any issues if Najee Smith and Lucas Milner started, but probably not.
How confident.
Listen to this crowd making some noise as Boise State takes the floor here. There is some serious energy inside ExtraMile Arena. What did you make of the game a couple weeks ago? Obviously, Boise State lost by 20 in San Diego, but didn't have Marcus Shaver. Najee Smith wasn't 100%. Tyson Degenhart was in foul trouble. I mean, it's going to be a much different Boise State team tonight.
That game to me was fugazi. All right, it's just a fragment. It doesn't even exist anymore. Boise State wasn't Boise State that game. They ran into a buzzsaw. That's what the VA Haas is about, right? Good for them. That's what the X needs to be about tonight. The same type of atmosphere that the VA Haas was able to pull off. Boise State, look, and Leon's been asking, this crowd is going to play a crucial role for me in this game tonight. I think it can. I think it should, and I think it's going to have to. If Boise State, say they win this game by 30, BJ, just smoke them, okay? This crowd, it will mean that this crowd will have had as much fun in this arena cheering on this team in probably decades.
Either way, you got Chef Wally over there from
he is in the hands.
Former owner of Fat Guys Fresh Deli. Does the catering for our golf tournament. Just cater it, right?
Yeah,
just cater
it in the pork belly out in Cuna.
Yeah.
He's behind the grill there doing his thing.
Unfortunately, though, he's got a friend that was a former coach. With San Diego State. So Chef Wally's wearing a San Diego State shirt.
He's all geared up. That's his God. He's from San Diego.
He used to actually make food for the team when they were in town. But
anyway,
wow, that's
this
pretty
is a
cool.
big night tonight. This is a game. I was listening to Idaho Sports Talk. I was listening to Idaho Sports Talk in the way in. I listened to the show that I'm a part of, but I wasn't on today. It was awesome. But BJ, they were talking about one guy called in, and he said. It was crazy. He said, the last basketball game I've been to was like Rutgers, West Virginia in the year 2000. I've lived in Boise for over a decade. I've never been to a game before. I'm going tonight. That dude is going to get – he's going to look around. He's going to say, are you serious? I've never been to one of these games before.
I had 4 or 5 people in the last 24 hours asking me they want to buy tickets. They couldn't find any.
Yep.
This is a legit tough ticket tonight, man.
There's a black market for TVs.
The cheapest ticket on StubHub was almost $50.
Wow, yeah.
It's a legit tough ticket tonight, man. And just think if first place had been on the line. But this is going to be special, man.
Press row.
You got fans up there with their shirts off in the student section.
Boise, that's what it says.
You got
spelled correctly.
The bottom 2 rows are essentially already full in the student section.
BJ, why don't you show the viewers that?
We need Colin to move that there.
Yeah, we do.
Why don't you talk for a second and I'll go move the camera.
BJ's going to get that sucker going. And one of the cool things about warm-ups here, it's either I'm going to take a 3 or I'm going to throw it down. Kobe Young, watch this. Haga-laga, big layup. Not going to happen tonight.
All right, now they're walking down towards the court. You can see them coming down here. Did they get front row seats, or what are they doing here? Is that something you would ever do?
I've done that for a Seattle Seahawks game once, BJ. 1999 playoff game. They lost to Marino.
You must have been about 20 or 30 pounds lighter if you're willing to take your shirt off.
It was gross. It was gross, so I shouldn't have done it. I'm not face paint guy. I'm not paint my chest guy. But I'll rock a jersey and a cool hat, and I think I'm good to go, man.
We got a couple of quick sponsors we got to thank. The Blue and Orange Store. Check them out, theblueandorangestore.com. Free shipping. Any order over $40 or theblueandorangestore.com. They're already asking the students to stand. The students in the front row are telling the other students, start standing, and there's 23 minutes till tip-off here. You haven't seen anything like this in a while. But
this is like where
let me finish this with a read. Hold on. Some booze as San Diego State takes the floor, but theblueandorangestore.com. Check them out, all the NIL gear, all that stuff. Theblueandorangestore.com. Bauscher Real Estate, #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher. Check him out, BauscherRealEstate.com. Okay, Johnny, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying this is going to be some type of atmosphere for the student section like you were able to experience as a student at the University of Kansas. And you got to see the Fog Allen Fieldhouse and everything that it does. And maybe you'll get a little slither of that atmosphere tonight, BJ.
I hope, man. They're playing on senior night tonight too.
Boise is an event town. Is this what an event is?
We got Kelly Christensen in the house.
Yeah.
Timberstone Golf Course. If Kelly Christensen's here, you know it's a big game. Kelly, the best in the business. Timberstone Golf Course. Get out there. Book a tee time. Book a private lesson with Tad. Best course in the valley, man. You got this is one of those who's who games, by the way. Okay. You got the football team coming.
Yep.
Avallo's going to be in attendance.
Okay.
You got Travis Hawks across the court there in the front row. You got Matt Bauscher. I saw Tommy Alquist.
Yep.
You got President Trump.
Yep.
You got
Scott.
Karen Rains and that. I mean, this is one of those games where I mentioned it being a tough ticket, but if you're anybody in Boise, Idaho, you're at this game tonight.
And if you're not, you're bummed out, but you're watching it on television. This game will get a huge number tonight in Boise. Dan Dickow, a part of the broadcast team with the legendary Rich Waltz. I mean, they have the CBS. This is their.
They just did the Arizona State buzzer beater from half court the other day.
No, Dickow was on the call.
Both of them
were,
okay. Down in Tucson.
Yeah, what a game that was. They say Arizona State is a team that Boise State needs to keep an eye on. They're kind of in that bubble group. Boise State has a stronger resume than Arizona State right now, but talk to me in 3 hours. And let's be honest here, BJ. If Boise State doesn't have its stuff together tonight and they get run out of the gym again like last time they faced these guys, albeit in San Diego, Boise State's going to be lucky to have the bracketologists say, well, hey, they're going to Dayton. I think all of that is moved if they win this game tonight, like you were saying. This is a ticket punch opportunity. You storm the court, you celebrate. You're not
Will this be another Max Rice selfie potential for you out there?
You're going to have to explain the viewers that story.
I've still never seen the photo. I
have it.
It's probably good that you don't give me the photo.
Yeah.
I still have a photo of you with Joe Vandal from about 10 years ago at the Big Sky Tournament. That's how long we've known each other down at the Orleans Casino. And I still occasionally will bust that out. So you probably better not that I get a hold of the Max Rice photo, but there was a selfie, correct, of you and Max Rice?
There is.
On the court.
And I have it on my phone. Is
that your screensaver? Is that your backdrop?
No. And I had a significant media violation. I broke one of the, I don't know if it's a written rule or an unwritten rule of being a media member for taking a selfie with a guy during a party. But, I got a lot of crap for it, and you guys never let me forget it. Thank you.
Kevin Brill, one of the officials tonight. There's Nate Harris, the number 2 official, and then the lead official tonight, Tony Padilla. Does national championship games, one of the best in the business. He did the Big Monday ESPN game last night in Ames, Iowa.
Oh, Padilla did.
How do you get from Ames, Iowa to Boise, Idaho in 20 hours? I'm not sure, but
you go Denver.
Probably Des Moines to Denver or something.
Des Moines to Denver to Boise, I would suggest.
Get a quick nap in, a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and you're ready to go.
Look at this crowd.
Look at the students, man. They're already getting fired up here. Any chance we can get you to go up there with the shirtless guys and maybe add an extra exclamation point or something?
You should make your employees do that.
Colin? Yeah. Look at this. Here comes the guy in the blue suit. Boise State might have more fans that wear weird stuff to games than anybody.
More than Kansas?
There's no BSU. There's no KU pimp. There's no. I mean, I love them. There's a lot of guys that like to wear weird stuff to games.
Just Scotty, the orange suit guy, wherever he is.
What do you think Jeremiah Dickey's thinking about a game like this, man? Sellout crowd. Spot to get in the dance. Is he a little nervous right now? He's in the back, glad handing some donors and stuff. But this is a big night for the university and the program.
You would think this is an opportunity, and Jeremiah Dickey knows it, where he can make several $1 million off this opportunity, off this win. You get someone to write that zero on the end of the check from 100 to 1,000, from 1,000 to 10,000. This is one of those opportunities, BJ. And Jeremiah Dickey, is there anybody cooler in Boise than Jeremiah Dickey? I don't know. I think if they had a contest of the coolest dude in Boise and I had a vote, I'm voting for JD, man. Him coming in here, everything he said he was going to do, he's either done, doing, or working on, all right? He's friendly to just about anybody. Anybody can just go up. I've seen. It's like Jeremiah Dickey has this open door policy with the entire city. And I love that. I haven't seen an athletic director and all the ADs that I've covered, BJ, that's connected with everybody the way JD has. And he's loving this opportunity. He's going to kill it tonight. Jeremiah Dickey's going to be like Frank Sinatra over there with those guys. Buddy.
Well, we appreciate you, ball game. We're going to get out of here. The building is filling up. We're 17 minutes till tip-off. We're going on 40 minutes for the pregame show here. So thank you to everybody for checking us out. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors, Lithia, Ford of Boise, rowpaint.com, ICCU, our major sponsors. You got the Blue and Orange Store, Transportation Compliance Service. Luke Randall getting a Johnny, be nice to him here, man. Come on. Appreciate everybody for checking us out. Should be an awesome atmosphere, an awesome game tonight. We'll be back on the post-game show about 30 minutes after the game. Colin Mitchell and myself will have full interviews, analysis, highlights. Again, you can listen to Bob and Abe on 670 KBOI. You can watch on the CBS Sports Network, Dan Dickow and Rich Waltz. Senior night, Boise State honoring the 3 seniors before the game. We're 16 minutes till tip-off. The building is filling up. This is going to be an awesome, memorable night tonight, and if Boise State is able to get a win to finish it off, it'll be pretty special for Boise State. So sorry we did not get to as many of your comments and thoughts. We had a lot of guests tonight and a lot to get to. We have record viewership right now, but we are contractually obligated to get off in a minute and 10 seconds before we break any Mountain West rules. But thank you all for watching. Go subscribe, $70 for the whole year, $6.99 a month. Exclusive daily emails, stories, recruiting coverage, shows. We'd love to have you and support our efforts with a subscription. $70 for a full year. We'll throw in a gift card to the Blue and Orange Store if you sign up tonight. But thanks a lot. Love you all. Should be a great game tonight. Really looking forward to it. Look for my kids on TV behind with Section 12 behind the bench. And enjoy the game. And we will talk to you guys after the game. Come back on the post-game show. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Facebook page. And we'll be back about 30 minutes after the game on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So enjoy the game, folks. It starts in 15 minutes. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.